What is going on, guys? It's Walker Heckman here, back with another video. Today we're digging into something that is rather interesting. I haven't heard of it yet, but it's obviously been around for a while. It completely caught me by surprise the other day, so I just had to pick it up. And we're gonna go ahead and unbox it, dive into it on this video today. And what I'm talking about is this little mystery tackle box, panfish and trout fishing kit. This is box number 86. So since I just picked this up, I imagine there's been 86 different boxes. I'm not sure if that's how that works. It's just what I assume. And this costs $17 at Walmart. And then just like all the mystery tackle boxes, it says around a $25 value and says it's got about 5 to 6 baits in it. A fun little panfish and trout fishing kit. I mean, the main reason I picked it up is just I am so curious to what those guys would put in this kit. Being born and raised in Montana, trout is about the best thing someone could hope to fish for in their younger years. So I have fished for trout a lot, and I know it says panfish also, but I know these guys are out of Texas, so I'm just curious as to what they put in a trout fishing kit. Real quick before we dive into this video, make sure you guys hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and so you don't miss out on that 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'll talk more about that giveaway at the end of the video. And with that, let's dive into this box. So guys, with my current film setup situation, this is about the best angle I'm gonna be able to get you, but let's tear into this thing. I'm super curious as to what is gonna be in this. As you may know, I'm subscribed to Mystery Tackle Box, their multi-species box, and so far I've been impressed with it. Looks like it's a box inside of a box. So there we go. This looks more like the one you'd get sent in the mail. It just says happy fishing. Doesn't even say what it is. I guess that's why they put it in this sleeve, so they can just mass produce these boxes. So we're gonna go ahead and open it up. Maybe. There it is. So we open it up. It's got that same measuring device for the Instagram hashtags if you want to be entered to win some prizes. And I got the Elite. I'm signed up for the Elite box, so there's less stuff in this little box than what I'm used to, but we'll get into it. The absolute first thing I see is a Crick Hopper by Rebel. These are cool little baits. I have seen them several times, have never picked one up. Just haven't been totally sold that they'll work for trout in my area. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of the package so we can see it a little more up close. But I actually almost bought one of these just recently. Rebel makes some crazy baits. They always make me smile when I see them in the stores. But it's basically a tiny little crankbait that's shaped and colored like a grasshopper with 2 tiny little treble hooks on it. See if I can get her to focus there. There it is. So this will be fun to try out for sure. And I think these go for like $4, I think. I'm sure there's a card in here that says how much they're worth, but I think they're $4 or $5, so that's a nice chunk of our money back right there. And this is one of those things I've almost bought several times, and I'm really excited to try it out. Next, we have got the weedless slab runner, which looks like a jig with a weed guard and a little spoon on it with a big soft plastic on it. Right there, little 16th ounce jig with a spinner on it, nice bright chartreuse plastic. We'll pop this one out of the package too, see what we think of her. They sure packaged her well. So here's the little plastic that comes with it. Super tiny, pretty much a little swim bait profile without a paddle tail. Just a super tiny little swim bait looking deal. Kind of cool. And I'll show you what it looks like all rigged up. So this here is how they look all rigged up. You can see those little baby wires protecting that hook. Little 16th ounce jig head with a spinner on the bottom of it. This thing will probably work. I don't throw this kind of stuff very often for trout. So I'm not entirely sold on it, but I'll definitely try it out. I might even try it out for different species. This looks like it could catch small bass. I mean, this looks like it could catch almost anything. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I have no idea how much this would cost, but we will hop into the next one. Next, we have an absolutely tiny little square bill looking crankbait. Sinking 16th ounce Yozuri snap beans. This might be the smallest crankbait I own now. We'll go ahead and pop it out of the package. I'm actually amazed that there's this kind of baits in this box. because living in Montana here, I mean, this is probably more towards panfish, but around where I grew up, you never really threw this kind of stuff for trout. You just threw a lot of inline spinners and night crawlers on a hook, that kind of stuff. But here, I don't even know how to hold this. Here is that super tiny little crankbait. It's even got a little rattle to it. It's in kind of a shad color with one little treble in the back. It doesn't say how deep this thing dives. It says sinking. Yeah, I don't think that it says how deep it dives, which, I mean, it's only a little 16th ounce tiny little crankbait. You can control that thing so much that you can pretty much put it whatever depth you want, probably. But that little guy is pretty interesting. I'll for sure try that out. Again, not 100% sure I'll use it for trout, but very interesting. Just like the monthly subscription box, you got the Dibble tips and tricks. Let's see what kind of tips they put in this one. Most delicious way to cook trout over a campfire, and how to select the right jerkbait color, which, unless you're fishing for huge trout, I don't know that I'd ever really use a jerkbait for trout. So I like that the recipe for how to cook trout over a campfire is on there, but I'm not too sure about that jerkbait. And obviously you got your little search puzzle there on the back. Cool that they still include that even in these boxes that are in store. Right here we got a little list of what's inside. This is much cheaper than the usual sticker that they put inside the monthly subscription box, and it doesn't have the prices on it, which is definitely different. Up next, I see something that I absolutely use for trout fishing in Montana, and that is a nice little inline spinner. Castaic is the brand. It's got a rooster tail, pretty much a gold blade, gold body, black and chartreuse rooster tail. 1/4 ounce, which is actually a pretty decent sized little inline spinner. It says 4 to 5 feet deep, which that's when you're just straight retrieving them, because you can get them to sink as deep as you want. But this nice little inline spinner is definitely something that I will try to use for trout as soon as the weather gets nice again. That there is what I consider a trout lure living where I live. So that's cool. They included a nice little inline spinner. I know for 100% fact this little guy will catch trout. Let's hop into the next one. Okay, this next one really does look too big for any sort of trout in like a river or a stream that I would fish for. You could definitely throw this for big trout, but I almost guarantee I know what I'm gonna use these for. It's got this nice black jig head, comes with 3 extra plastics and an extra jig head. And that is a little paddle tail swim bait. Again, we'll pop this one out of the package. Doesn't have any weights on the package, so I have no idea how much those jig heads weigh. It's a pretty hefty jig head. I'd give it at least an 1/8 ounce, if not heavier. But yeah, it's just a nice little black swim jig with a nice white with silver flake paddle tail swim bait. Comes with 3 extra plastics and an extra jig head. It's a really cool little thing to include. I pretty much absolutely disagree that this is for trout, unless of course you're fishing for some big trout. But I figure finding this in Walmart, it was gonna be more for, you know, just the absolute everyday guy could pick this up, go to his local stream, catch some trout, which because of this little gold inline spinner, you definitely could do that. I'm probably gonna end up using this for pike or bass or something like that, because definitely a little too big for the areas that I trout fish. Not to say that you couldn't use it for trout where you're at if you're fishing for more of a trophy trout. And that is the last lure in this box. And of course, Catch Co went ahead and threw a sticker in there. Pretty cool little sticker. It's a largemouth bass with kind of an astronaut suit on, but he's breathing water instead of air. The only complaint I could have for this is they gave you a largemouth bass sticker in a panfish / trout box, but that's just nitpicking. Awesome little sticker. Gonna add it to the collection. So guys, that's gonna be the end of this little box. I was totally surprised to find this box in Walmart, and I was really surprised at the price, and it just caught my eye, so I went ahead and picked it up. We unboxed it here, and there was definitely a large assortment of different types of baits, but on the trout side of things, there's maybe one bait that I would use for trout in my area, that being this little gold inline spinner. All these other baits, I would more than I could totally see them being used for panfish, which it also said panfish on the box. But even this thing, unless you're going for some nice sized panfish, I mean, that's a big hook to set into a little bluegill mouth unless you're going for some big ones. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this box totally surprised me. A part of me thought there was going to be a handful of inline spinners, and then literally maybe some eagle claw snells and some bobbers for doing night crawlers. But I'll for sure put all these baits to the test. I can 100% see all these baits adding up to at least over $17, which is what I paid. Possibly even all the way up to their $25 mark they claim on the box. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like the baits that are in this box, or the styles of baits in this box, go check out your Walmart. And I'm pretty sure how it's set up is if yours says a different number, like mine's 86, yours could say 87 or a completely different number. That would mean that you have different baits than the ones I have right here, is how I understand it. So if this piqued your interest, go check your Walmart, or I think I saw they're also in Academy Sports if you have one of those where you live. But go check it out and pick it up, and go ahead and drop in the comments and tell me what you got out of it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. As soon as this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away an ugly stick spinning combo to one of the first 1,000 subscribers. I'll leave the more detailed rules in the description box. If you have any thoughts about this video or any recommendations for me for some of these lures where I live, be sure to drop those in the comments below. I love hearing feedback, and I always like to learn new things. Make sure you guys smash that like button, and as always, keep it wild.